They have come from near and far to think outside of the box. These two letters, R-E, have brought thousands of CEOs to our shores. What's your Re? Let's find out.
Well, the life of Re is sort of recreating and reimagining something that's been done, so sort of living the beta life, as they're saying. And what we've done is basically taken insects, which is an age-old food source, and sort of become discarded, and people don't really focus on it, and trying to breathe life into it, to redefine the way people think about it.
For me, Life of Re has been represent and make sure we're representative, which I think is a kind of slight play on the word, even more so than we already had. But it's been about making sure that the business leaders that we have here and the people that are shaping our futures are representative. We have different types of people, whether it be women, whether it be older people, whether it be black people. You know, we have a diversity of people that are representative, making decisions about what the future holds, making decisions about the kind of technology we're building and what its uses are, but also involved in the data sets that we have that are driving some of those decisions and a lot of that technology.
Growth, change, constant innovation. The Life of Re is actually, it's fantastic for young business leaders because we get lost in running our businesses, so we forget to change and to adapt.
Reinventing ourselves in Zim. Our businesses exist in a very challenging market at the moment, and the changes that are perpetually happening means we have to keep reinventing ourselves continuously. And the only way we can do that successfully is by collaborating as a community.
The Life of Re, which has been the topic for this EDGE program we have, has been all about looking at where to go in the future. So we need to re-look at where we've been, but also where we're going. And the change in the way of thinking in terms of business, as the millennials are coming more and more into the market, and us older guys are sort of having to move out the market, is that there's a change away from being absolutely profit-driven towards creating an impact and being impactful in the way you do business.
The Life of Re means to me pretty much a reset, that we look at life for too long where we've got a big plan and we think that we're on this journey of this big plan. And for me, what I've learned in this conference is maybe you need to relook at it and say, do we reset? Do we reimagine? And rethink what it is that we're going to do.
I think it's all about reimagining, reinventing, recreating, and just really about how you can take your life, your environment, you know, your country, your continent, all the systems around you to the next level. So to really reimagine and elevate them.
Advocates' creativity is about re-creativity. So having those moments where you can just use and explore creativity, ask those questions, how do I do, what would happen, and because we don't get to do that very often, we're almost always into autopilots.
Chance to talk about reincarnation, and I think it's amazing to be able to dedicate yourself towards change, to look at it as something that's dynamic. Life is dynamic. You're not a fixed person. You are whoever you dedicate yourself to becoming. In fact, in my work in educational technology, we're very explicit. I don't care who your child is. I care who they could be and what it would take to get them there. Let's reimagine what you actually thought was possible about someone. And there's this wonderful research in a space called growth mindset by a woman at Stanford called Carol Dweck. And one of the fascinating things we find about it is not simply that if you believe you can grow and change, it has positive benefits, but if a parent believes their child can grow and change, then the child grows even more. And it's almost certainly the same thing for workforce. If bosses, if managers believe that their employees can grow and change, they will. They will grow into those roles. And in a company where you've decided people simply are what they are when they walk in the door, change becomes stagnant, and so does the company.
Re means refine my business, redefine, recreate, changing, scaling. I was explaining one of my stories as discovering technologies, especially the solar technology. We build sustainable resorts in emerging markets. It's one of my companies. And what has inspired me is not just to do this renewable energy on my resort, but use those new technologies and scale them up to more population and think bigger.
Self-awareness is the key, the first start, and always being a learner. So I've never assumed I knew, and I think my medical background means that you're constantly learning about people, about how you communicate. So yeah, the life of Re, which is the theme for YPO this time around, is a personal mission for me, because I think I really want to do a good job. I want to leave a legacy. I want to have an impact, and I really want to honor the trust of patients when they come to us.
There are many CEOs and entrepreneurs attending YPO Edge here in Cape Town, living what they call the life of reimagining, resetting and reinventing. If you want the definition of reinventing, what about this? Making ice cream out of insects. Yes, I said insects.
Hi, I'm Leah, and I'm the co-founder and head of product development for Gourmet Grub, and we've created a dairy alternative ice cream that we've made from insects. We've kept our ice cream very natural, so we have a dark chocolate variant that's basically just made with a dairy alternative that's insect-based, and we use raw honey to sweeten it, and then we use a cocoa to make it a really rich dark chocolate. So what we have is quite a creamy ice cream, but it's got a very natural earthy undertone because we don't use any stabilizers or any artificial ingredients. So it's a very wholesome, natural and rich and nutritious ice cream.
It's not everyone's tub of ice cream, but the question remains, who would eat it?
The perfect mix of cocoa. You can taste that it's not like dairy milk, like cow milk, but it's not a bad taste. It makes it quite interesting. It makes it different, and I like it. 10 out of 10.
Another is using medical centers to change the face of healthcare.
Access to healthcare, big problem in Africa and also in Ghana. So we started trying to increase our footprint, so expanding geographically. So started moving to where our patients were, and also started to look at how do we innovate to lower the price. So increasing quality, so really quality is always a key, but then also going at a lower cost. So we started doing things like design thinking to really be more patient-centered and designing for patients. So we're building a mother and child unit, which was all the feedback we generated using that. And then also training other doctors. So we are privileged to be the only private hospital in Ghana to train family physicians. And so family physicians will become the leaders in primary healthcare and more preventative healthcare, which is a strong tool to transform our country.
At the end of the first day, a photo opportunity for the leading lights. The host, President Cyril Ramaphosa of South Africa and Paul Kagame of Rwanda. On the right was Pascal Jacquin, the chairman of YPO, who's full of optimism for Africa.
We see Africa as the continent of the future. We've always had a dozen strongholds of the classical countries, South Africa, Zimbabwe, Nigeria, Tanzania, Kenya. But now we're moving to more emerging markets for us. We have a fantastic chapter in Rwanda for the Great Lakes, and we got some initiatives, Mozambique, Angola. We're going to Madagascar next week, Ivory Coast, Senegal. So we're really growing Africa. And what's beautiful for us is, as we are an organization that is based on trust, we do everything not just with the mind, with the heart. The connectivity that we have our members arriving to these new African markets establish what we call chapters, which is our organization's name for the group of people landing there, builds a trust for us to go to these frontier markets and to grow. And we see Africa as a land of opportunity for us to make impact investments and to grow.
Impact investing is very important in Africa. Where do you see the opportunities? What kind of sectors?
I mean, you know, it's renewable energy would be the first one that we would think of. We were talking with Bbox, which is one of our companies who is electrifying parts of Rwanda and Togo now and so on. Very inspiring. We scale them to new countries. They provide off-grid electrical panels and also gas at a distance, which gas on demand is also great because the the wood stove, the charcoal that you have in the housings is a source of cancer. So the idea that you would be able to have a natural gas bottle that you would pay on your mobile phone to switch on and get natural gas is something that I found exciting. I met a young member that came to me and proposed me a small device for $40 that I could think on any water, anywhere, and you can keep on drinking the water from the tap directly, and it's okay, it's safe to drink. All these ideas in the hallway is just, this is the energy that we in YPO, and we want to scale that all over Africa.
These sound like initiatives that are not just business, but they're also good social causes. Is that a key thing for YPO?
We had a survey over Christmas that was amazing for us, to our members, and figured out that 93% of our members want to have a business that is impactful, that is changing the world.
Impactful business is not just a phrase being thrown around. It is being lived out by YPO members.
Well, at Uhuru, we're always looking for ways to impact positively. By investing in companies and helping to grow these companies, we're creating jobs. It's a very important target of what it is that we do. And for our investors, it's a very important part of them giving us that capital to invest. So we're looking to create jobs, and not just any jobs, but quality jobs as well. So we monitor the amount of training that we do, the amount of empowerment, the number of women that are included in those companies, and yes, we're creating quality jobs.
With some of the best minds in the world rethinking and reimagining the future, it's only a matter of time until we see the benefit.